If you're like most Reels creators, you are not happy with your reach. And you're convinced it's the algorithm that's killing your views. And while the algorithm has changed, most times it is not the algorithm that's keeping you from getting the views you think you deserve. It's because of one of the 5 reasons I'm gonna talk about today. I know this because I've been looking at the Reels of all these people who asked me to critique their Reels. And these 5 mistakes kept popping up. Let's see if you agree. Oh, and I'm setting up my Christmas tree to help explain the 5th most common mistake I see people make. Jacqueline Hedrick, you're the first one up. And looking at your bio, I'm not really sure what it is that you do because all you have is a Bible verse in there, and there are no keywords in the name section or in your account to let us know what your account is about. Going down to your Reels, I click on this one. If your body could speak to you, what would she say? Next one, did you know that essential oils can help you with your mood? And then we go straight to an app, and there's very long pauses in your video, which people will swipe when there's a pause in your video. Now we've got family pictures. All it says is she's walking. Now we know folks have no idea what that means. Cute baby though. More baby, and husband, lights. And that's it. So we've got a lot of random content. That's number 1 mistake. People are random with what they post, and they're random with when they post. We see that she posted on November 8th, November 7th, that's good. November 4th, not too bad. Oh, October 14th. And then before that, October 10th. So if you want to start seeing an increase in your reach, you can't be random with when you post and what you post. You need to have a clear definition in your bio to tell the algorithm and people who are checking out your account what your account is all about, what they will get if they were to follow you. Then you need to have 5 to 7 content categories that you rotate through so that you have topics that relate to your niche and your ideal person, so that the algorithm has enough information to know who to send your reel to. And then Instagram has told us how often you need to post reels if you want your account to grow significantly with reels. That is 5 to 7 reels a week. And you are posting 1, maybe 2 a week, and then waiting several weeks before you post the next one. You can't be inconsistent. We all go through seasons of growth and seasons of plateau. Maybe we are nurturing our existing audience, maybe we are taking a break. But if you want to grow, you need to be posting 5 to 7 times a week and give it at least a month or 2 before you throw in the towel and say the algorithm is out to get you. I know how frustrating it can be when you first start an Instagram account and you don't know what you're supposed to be talking about. I made that mistake. I started posting all this inspirational content when I first started my account. Then I started posting Instagram advice when I hadn't even figured out Instagram in the first place. That's when I realized I had to figure out what I did know, what I've already proven to know, and that was video. I started posting all about video and how to create video and how to market with video. And that's when my account started to explode because I was talking about something specific and I had proof that I knew what I was talking about because of my years in television and video. Until I ran across the same problem as this next account has. This is Cam's Mindset Macros. She does a really good job of telling us exactly who she's here for. Women 35 plus. She helps them lose weight and drop belly fat eating food they love and transform your relationship with food. Really good bio. But what I noticed in her reels, she does something I did a lot of when I first started, and that is framing yourself exactly the same way, but also, look at this. You can see she's very close to the camera and we can't see her hand gestures. Now, I know a lot of people think that you don't want to show hand gestures because they are distracting, and they can be distracting if you keep them up here outside of the safety zone. So the safety zone is your neck to your belly. When I use my hands like this in a very steady way, it's very natural because I'm not even thinking about it and my hands are moving. This helps you communicate. It helps you remember what you want to say. It helps you have a natural pattern with your voice. It also helps the person watching understand what you're saying subconsciously. But when we're really close to the camera and we don't show our hands, we are hurting our body language. Also, this is uncomfortably close. People want you to back away from the camera just like they do in real life. They don't want you up in their face. So all I would say to Cam is loosen up your shot a little bit so we can see your hands, and vary up your shot so that it's not always the exact same frame, zoom in sometimes, zoom out sometimes. Let me show you a weight loss coach who is in my program. This is Video School to give you an example. This is Jasmine Mays. Notice how she uses a variety of frames of her shot so that we're not always seeing her very up close or even very far away. She varies it up. This keeps the person interested. It makes them want to watch longer, which means you're gonna get more views because people are watching your video longer. The same applies to your account overall. Just like you don't want every shot in a video to look exactly the same because you will bore a viewer and they'll stop watching, you don't want every video on your account to look the exact same because that too will bore your viewer. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Say hello to my little Santas. This is my Santa Claus collection. You have to think of your account as a collection, a library of videos just for your ideal person. We want all this reach and we want all these views, but as business owners, we have to focus on an overall collection of our videos, just like my Santa Clauses. If all of these Santa Clauses looked exactly the same, when I put them in my display box, it wouldn't be that exciting. I would get kind of bored with them because they would always look the same. Your videos need to not only rotate through the topics that will help your ideal person, but you need to showcase them in different ways, with voiceovers, with face to camera. You don't want all of your videos to look exactly the same because your viewer, even if they're not conscious about it, they will swipe on by and not even watch it. And if your followers are not watching your videos, then you're not gonna get new people to see your videos because the algorithm will stop sending it out to more people if your followers swipe on your videos. Note to self, unless you are specifically talking about decorating in a video, avoid decorating in a video because you will get sidetracked and start decorating and stop recording. And it's causing this video to take way too long to make. But let's continue. Moving on to the fourth most common mistake I see people make in their reels. We're going to Dr. Sue Cancer Vet, an oncologist for animals. And she does a great job of varying up her different types of reels. She also varies up her locations. Sometimes she's at the office, sometimes she's at her house. But the mistake I found Dr. Sue making was this.
Update on Stelfonta. Treats with Stelfonta. Stelfonta. Treating with Stelfonta. After Stelfonta. Here are some effects from Stelfonta.
All of those reels had to do with something called Stelfonta. I had no idea what this was, so it didn't interest me. I found out that Stelfonta is an injection you can use to reduce the size of tumors without surgery. As a dog owner who also has a dog that had a tumor recently removed, of course that affects me. She assumed I had seen her previous reels. That's the mistake. You're making reels assuming people have seen your previous reels. You have to make reels for total strangers, especially if you want to get more views and increase your reach. Notice how all the reels where Dr. Sue talks about Stelfonta in the first sentence have significantly fewer views than the other reels of hers. And that's because people don't know what she's talking about and they swipe. Instead, if she always talked about your dog and tumors, and did you know there's a way to shrink your animal's tumor without surgery, now you've got our attention and you can bring up the name of the drug later in the reel. Future Virginia editing here, and I'm realizing I did not get any video of me actually decorating the tree, which I told you was the whole point of my mistake number 5. This is why you have to be careful when you do activities during a video, because if you really like those activities, it will distract you and it could mess up your video. But let's continue. I will figure this out. And the most common reels mistake of all, reels that are boring. Too much information. I'm going to use the account of a realtor to show you an example of this. This is Judy Hull.
I'm assuming your feed is not full of realtors and economists making predictions about the housing market.
Her reel is 58 seconds long. It took her 20 seconds just to get to the part where she talks to first-time home buyers and how she sold homes to 3 couples recently. That's called burying the lead. I messaged Judy and I asked her, do you by chance have pictures or video of these couples that you talked about? And she did. So I recreated her reel. I asked her if she would re-record it with the script I provided using the exact same facts she had in her original original reel, and we got it from 58 seconds to 25 seconds.
Are you looking to buy your first house, but you're worried about the interest rates? Meet the Holloways, Nagels, and the Creightons. I helped all three of these couples buy their first home. Because of the market here in Salem, Oregon, they were able to look at lots of houses, make an offer, negotiate, and get the seller to pay for part of their closing costs. Interest rates might be higher, but home prices are lower, and they can refinance in the future. For now, they're living in the house they love.
Right out of the gate, she addresses her ideal person, first-time home buyers and their fear and pain point, high interest rates. Then she goes right to the story of 3 couples she helped purchase their first home. And she walks through the process and then she gives the outcome. They all got the homes they wanted. That gives a story that the ideal person watching can see themselves in, and it gets them to feel something. You want your viewer to feel something, but they won't feel anything if your reel is boring and if you don't use storytelling. Me again. So I made it look like I recorded this video in one afternoon while I nonchalantly decorated my house for Christmas. Well, it's Saturday and I started shooting this video on Tuesday, and I've worn that shirt probably 5 times. Okay, maybe not 5, probably 4 times this week. I decided to come clean and finish this video in my pajamas while I edit because it didn't need to be that complicated. But the tree, that's it. Let's get back to the tree. The whole point of me doing the tree was I wanted to show a beginning, a middle, and the end, just like with Judy and the story of her homeowners. There was the beginning of me getting the tree out, then I put the tree together. You were supposed to see me decorating. That was the process of the story. And then the outcome would be what you see now, which is the finished tree. That's a tree story. But I also peppered in stories all throughout this video. And my challenge to you is to start putting storytelling in your reels. If you're not sure how to do that in a 15-second reel, watch this video right here. I walk you through exactly what to put in a reel so that you have the conflict, the resolution, and the outcome all in 15 seconds. Storytelling is what's going to get people to remember you and come back to your account. It wouldn't have taken me that long if I had just stuck to the bullet points and the outline. Then I had to go decorate the kitchen. I had to put my Santa Clauses in the little case. I had to go make sure I had a new print on my mantle. So I had to drive to Walgreens and get that. It was a whole thing. I just take my Christmas decorating very seriously. And then I have to tweak. Tweaking probably goes on for 2 weeks. This is not the video you signed up for, is it?